Good morning. It is May 16th, 8:28 a.m. and this is the start of a new weekly vlog. I'm a little behind because I have just been lazy lately. Honestly, I haven't been doing a whole lot. I haven't been working much, and so I decided that I was gonna start changing that this week because I need to get my life together. School's over, I've had my time to be lazy, and now I need to get shit done. So I planned on waking up at 7 this morning, woke up at 5 instead on accident, got out of bed at 7, and then I started some laundry, cleaned the kitchen, and I've been just picking up the house. I work this evening, but I wanted to get a whole bunch of stuff done before I went to work just so that my husband doesn't have to come home to a dirty house and I don't have to come home to a dirty house. And I feel like once I start being productive, that kind of helps me feel better and stay out of like a slump, because I think that's why I ended up being lazy for so long, is because like if I don't do something productive every day, then I fall out of a routine. So that's the deal this morning. I still have to go to the bank and drop off a check so that I can order groceries, which I'm dreading because my bank is like 15 minutes away and that's really not that far. But it's a pain that I can't just go to one of the banks closer to deposit a check. Otherwise, I have some cookie cutters printing on my 3D printer for a Father's Day kind of pre-order thing I'm gonna try to do. I did get my first like legit, I did a real order last week for a friend for her 2-year-old's birthday party. So I did that last week and that was a paid order. But I got my first like someone reached out to me that isn't directly a friend of mine order. And I'm really excited. It's gonna be Wednesday Addams, a little 7-year-old's birthday party. So I'm gonna be printing those cookie cutters soon as well. And I will keep y'all updated on that. I don't have to have those ready for about another month, but I am gonna practice just so that I'm confident with how I want to decorate them and stuff. That's kind of what we got going on. Sorry, this was a long and very boring intro, but I just wanted to hop on and start another vlog today because it's been too long and I've been too lazy and not doing anything. But my plan is to start making my weekly vlogs a mix between a regular vlog and a reading vlog, so that way I'm including some stuff I'm doing outside of reading. That way I don't feel pressured to have to read for the vlog, but also showing reading things so that I'm not just vlogging what I'm doing with my life, which is not a whole lot. So anyways, that is the plan for the day, and I will see y'all at some point later. Alrighty, please excuse the sound of my 3D printer in the back. It is currently printing a beer mug cookie cutter. So, it's 11:30, I finished up some laundry, finished up cleaning the house, cleaning this room, took a shower, just put some nails on because I go back to work tonight. And I wanted to give you a little update on my reading. This month, all I have read, or been reading, I have not finished a book yet, is my 2 book club picks for my Books and Brews book club that I started up here where I live. I think that I kind of have this mental block of not reading anything else until I finish these books because I feel obligated to read them. I mean, obviously it's my book club, I'm going to read them, but I feel like I'll get distracted with something else and not end up finishing these. So originally I made a reading schedule like suggested for the group on how to finish the book by the time that we meet at the end of the month. And basically it was like 15 chapters a week for one, 12 chapters a week for the other. At the beginning of the month I was like 24 pages a day, you're good to go. Well, I didn't stick to that, so I'm already behind by a bit for my bigger book. And so I think that for next month I will still make that recommendation for people, but whatever the books are, I'm going to read them at my own pace because I think that I'll finish them quicker instead of feeling like I have the whole month to read them, because it's literally kept me from reading any other books. So what we got is Throttled by Lauren Asher. I actually read some on my Kindle last night. Well, I read on my iPad. Chapter 31, 80% through, page 291. I worked the day half on the ambulance yesterday and used my time to catch up on some reading. So I read from I think I started on page 142 yesterday, or 136, something like that, and then got to 240 before I got home. Then I got home and read to 291. So that's good. That means I'm almost done. I do have to go back through at some point and put in my tabs that I mark, because I use the highlight setting on my Kindle whenever I read digitally, so I can go back and mark it in my book. And I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this for books that I'm just reading on my own, possibly, but I'm not sure, because I don't write in them. I just mark oh, that's funny, or that's shocking, or that makes me angry, things like that. And so for my book club books, that's important because I can use it as talking points at the meeting. But when I'm just reading them for myself, it's I don't know. But I do have great news. I tabbed the From Blood and Ash books, and my husband is reading them now, and he actually did not pull the tabs out, and I've used them to ask, so I always tabbed funny parts with green, and I've seen him chuckle at parts that I've tabbed, so it makes me feel good that he also finds certain parts funny when I do. But anyways, so 80% through with this. I might finish it today, honestly, if I have time before work. I probably have an hour of reading left, if that, and then I can check that off. I don't know what my plans are after I finish, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Next is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I always take the dust jackets off because they irritate me while I read, so it's over there. So I'm on chapter 16, page 161. And I believe that it's 23%. I use my Goodreads to gauge whenever I'm not reading digitally. But yeah, so I'm on 23% of the way through. So technically by next Sunday, I need to be at this tab back here, and this is the end of the book. When I did the math yesterday, I needed to read 87 pages of this per day to finish by the end of this week, which it's literally no rush. I still have 12 days to finish, but I want to finish so I can move on and read something else. I just filmed a whole nother part of this clip for my other book and realized I didn't really give my opinions on Throttled. So I am enjoying this. As of right now, I'm gonna probably give it a 4-star. I would give it a 5-star, but I've said this previously, I feel like I'm being too lenient with my book reviews. So 4 or 5-star, I don't know. The only complaint I have is that it took so long to get into the super romantic part, but otherwise it's a slow burn, so everything worked out. I honestly just really enjoyed that there's actually a plot to this story besides just romance. My camera was shaking from my 3D printer, so sorry about that. But there's actually, and now I'm knocking stuff over, great. There's actually a plot in the story. It follows a girl named Maya whose brother is an F1 race car driver, and she travels with him throughout his first racing season, or his first big racing season. He's on with a big team and is actually racing on the same team as his rival that they got into a huge wreck a while before. Anywho, so it follows Noah's perspective, which is the rival, and then Maya, whose brother is Santi, and she basically has a little vlog where she follows the guys around and does little interviews and all this stuff and kind of becomes YouTube famous, I guess, throughout the story. And it's kind of like a forbidden romance type of situation because it's a rival and stuff like that. So I enjoy it. There's enough of the story to make the like smutty aspects be worth it. And like I said, it's a slow burn, so it didn't just start out of the blue, like barely know each other, Cinderella type of situation. So enjoying it so far, planning on finishing today if possible. And then next I am reading Warbreaker. I'm on chapter 16 and page 161, and I would like to get to page 140 or 248 today, but we will have to see how that goes. I'll have to have a really slow night at work or get to reading pretty quick because I don't see myself reading that much before I leave, on top of finishing Throttled. But this story follows two sisters named Siri and Vivina, is how I say it. And Vivina has trained her whole life. She's been trained by their father, who is the king, to fulfill a treaty signed between the god king and the human king, that on her 22nd birthday she would go marry him and provide an heir, and this would prevent a war, yada yada whatever. The dad decides instead of that, instead of sending Vivina, he's going to send Siri, who is kind of the troublemaker of the family, who has no preparation for this. Like, she's also been brought up in all of the schooling and classes, but it wasn't her like destiny to go do this, so she's kind of thrown into this whole situation. And Vivina decides to embark on a journey to go save her sister. So you get multiple different perspectives. There's a really cool magic system called like biochroma, where like, so every person has a breath, like it's essentially their soul, and the more breaths you have, the more like colors you can see. So like a normal person can see like blue and red and green, like just the color, but people with more breaths can actually see shades. And you can take breaths from people, but then they die. If you donate your breaths to people, they die. You can temporarily like put your breath into something to animate it, basically. So like if my blanket was across the room and I wanted it to come over here, I would like, well, I think you have to touch it. Either way, if I put my breath in my blanket, it could come over here, and then I take my breath back, and then the blanket no longer is like animated. That kind of plays a part in it too. And the girls come from a kingdom where like color is bad, and having breaths and being an awakener, which is the people that can use their breath to bring things to life, is not good. So when Siri gets to Halandrin, I think is what it's called, or maybe I'm getting my fantasy books confused. Either way, when she gets there, everything is vibrant and bright, and there's colors everywhere. And so that's really as far as I've gotten to this book, but it is very interesting and I am enjoying it, even though I'm not really in a fantasy mood right now, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, so I just ate lunch. I'm gonna go ahead and get to reading Throttled, and then I will update y'all either tonight or tomorrow. All right, so first little bit of good news that I have is that I finally got a new ring light, so I'll be able to film better in this location, and I won't have to be talking from the corner. Here it is. It's like touchscreen right here. I don't have it plugged in right now, but wow. Have it at a weird angle right now because I haven't been able to mess with it a whole bunch, and I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of my final thoughts on Throttled. I really liked it. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I thought the ending was super cute, and I'm overall happy with how it turned out. There were smut scenes, but it wasn't super, like, the most dirty thing I've ever read in my life, which I could have gone for a little bit more, but I appreciate that there was actually a storyline that went along with this, and relationships, and not just getting it, you know? So yeah, I'm really happy that I picked this month. I may continue with the series, even though it doesn't follow the same characters, or it doesn't follow these two, but it follows like other characters in this story, because I liked the writing and I thought it was good. I definitely see myself continuing with this author specifically, and probably this series in the future. Is 150. I had to wait a little bit after I finished. My husband went to the DMV to get his license renewed, and I was waiting for him to be gone so it would be silent in here so that I could film in this room. That's usually why I film in my office when he's playing his games and stuff. It can get a little loud. So I'll probably start getting ready around 2:45. That way I can leave by 4:45. I do need to go pick up my prescription, so I may go do that now. Come back, maybe read a little bit, maybe not, and then get ready and head to work. I am struggling because this past week I haven't even worked at Twin Peaks like at all. Like I gave up all my shifts, and then I did call off one day because I was in excruciating pain and felt like garbage. So I need to make money, but also I don't want to go to work. So part of the reason I woke up early this morning was so that I could be motivated and like productive. That way I'd be in a good mood, and I am in a good mood, and I'm not quite in the like mindset of like, oh my god, I have to go to work. But of course someone invites us out to do something tonight, and a girl had said she was picking up shifts this evening, so I was like, ooh, there's my way out. But I do need the money, and there's things that I want to pay for, or like there's things I have to pay for. First of all, I take my paramedic skills this weekend. That's $350, and then I have to pay my car insurance. And then aside from that, there's more stuff that I want to buy for myself, and that costs money. So I have to be a good girl and go to work, although I'm supposed to work tomorrow evening, and I may try to switch to tomorrow morning, even though I'm going to get off late tonight and have to go in early-ish in the morning. But I don't know, I just prefer mornings. So anywho, that is my update for the time being. Hopefully I can maybe get like at least 30 pages read of Warbreaker tonight while I'm at work. I know I'm going to be at the bottom of the freaking pyramid this week because I didn't work at all last week. So I'm going to be there for the long run and probably be the last one to get sat in the rotation. So that's great. But anywho, that's the plan. I really wanted to go golfing on Thursday because the weather's supposed to be nice, but my husband is probably going to get called into work, and I have a therapy appointment. I think what I'm going to end up doing is do an April and May wrap up together, since I have missed the April wrap up and it's already the middle of May. And then when it comes to my TBR for the rest of this month, I really didn't have one besides the book club books. I thought about maybe reading Golden Sun, the second Red Rising book, and I think I'm going to get it on audiobook. That way I can listen to it, because reading the book, it wasn't super hard to follow, so I think I'd be okay listening to it. And I do miss my audiobooks, and I never thought I would say that because it took me so long to get into them otherwise. Now I can start another romance book. Honestly, I think that's what I'm going to start next now that I finished Throttled. Any hoosies, that is all I have for now, and I will see y'all at some point. Good morning. It is now Friday at 11:15 in the morning, afternoonish time, and I haven't updated y'all since I think Tuesday. I haven't done much, to be fair. I did work that night, worked Wednesday morning, and then I was off yesterday, but I haven't made a lot of progress when it comes to my books. I believe that on Tuesday I was around page 160 in Warbreaker, and now I'm at 204. So I have not been keeping up with my daily goal. I've even split it up into how many days I need to read to finish by the meeting time. So I've just accepted that these might be the only books that I read this month. But my husband did say I'm kind of getting to the point where things start picking up and getting exciting, and usually I'll read a little bit faster when that happens. So fingers crossed I can get more reading done. Otherwise, I work this evening. I have my skills tomorrow, and I don't know how long that's going to take. I doubt that I'll get any reading time done unless they let me bring my book in, but I do not know. And that's really all I have planned for this weekend. I do work on the ambulance on Sunday, so that'll be another day that I can go and read and try to get a bunch of it knocked out. I just wanted to give y'all a little update before anything else happens or before I forget to come back. I've been meaning to do this update for a couple days now and just never got around to it, but that's really all I have to update at this time. I had therapy yesterday that went really well. I'm glad I'm going back to therapy. I do have to wait 2 more weeks before I can go back just because she was booked and busy, but I think it'll be really good for me, especially now that I have more time. Otherwise, I wanted to throw in this little clip that I recorded a couple weeks ago. I was recording while I was baking to try to do like kind of a time-lapse bake with me type of video that I never ended up uploading, but I was watching Game of Thrones and something crazy happened, so I got my like genuine reaction on video, and so I wanted to throw that in real quick. Just a heads up, there are season 7 Game of Thrones spoilers in this, so if you've not made it to that point, just a little heads up. I don't think I say who it is that it's happening to, but you can kind of see it on my iPad in the background, so just a little spoiler warning now. I'm going to insert it, and then I will see y'all at some point later. Oh my god! Stressing me out while I'm trying to do something not stressful. I am upset that everybody else got blown up, but I was not expecting him to just fucking yeet. Good morning. I just wanted to check in with y'all, and I have some packages that I'd like to open. I'm gonna open the best one last. But I got an Amazon gift card for my graduation, and there's been some makeup and stuff that I've been wanting to get. So I ordered it with my gift card. Got some beauty blenders because I've been using the same one for entirely too long, and I should definitely have more breakouts on my face than I actually do. I got some tinted brow gel. It's not focusing. And then the lipstick I've been using at work, I really like because it stays on really well. So I got some more in a different shade just because the shade that I usually wear is really dark, and I wanted something a little more subtle, I guess. So it's the Outlast All Day, and it comes with the color and then like moisturizer to put on top of it, and I've really liked it so far. And then I got some little like fake nose piercings because I haven't gotten around to actually piercing my nose yet. And they're literally just tiny hoops that you can like bend and put in your nose. They look like... Okay, bag number 2. I do not know what's in this one. Oh, yes I do. Wait a minute. It's just white eyeliner for my bottom lash line. But I swear I ordered a little freckle pen to do freckles with, and I guess that I did not. But the last and most important package, let's see, half the time I can't actually get this to take, there we go, is Fucking Around. I wanted to read this the other day, and whenever I started it on my Kindle, it told me to read the prequel called That One Night before I read this. So I went and read the prequel first, and oh my god, I really liked it. I gave it 5 stars. And to be fair, it was only like 75 pages, but still, it was really good. It has, like, it was a very like whirlwind type of situation, but you have to do it that way if you're gonna only write 75 pages, so I was not mad. So also in the ebook of That One Night, there's the first 5 chapters of this book, so I'm on chapter 6 now because I did download it off of Kindle Unlimited just because I originally wasn't planning on getting it physically, but I really like them and I think I'm going to like them, so I'm going to keep reading it physically. But that actually brings us around to my reading updates. So I talked earlier in the video about how I finished Throttled, which was one of my book club picks for my book club. So check that off. I feel accomplished. I have finished at least 1 book in this vlog, and that was the plan. I also finished That One Night. I'm 6-ish chapters into Fucking Around. For Warbreaker, I am about 34% through. I'm on page 236, which is chapter 23. I did hit my little goal the other day of reading like 35 pages or something while I was at work. but yesterday I didn't read any, and I haven't read any today. So if I can, I'd like to read about 100 pages today, just to kind of get myself a little bit further. I'm gonna read to about chapter 31, which is page 327, so that's 90 pages. If I can get that done, I'll be totally fine with that. And then I also started an audiobook. I may have talked about this earlier in the video, but I got a subscription to Scribd because I can't always get the audiobooks that I want on my library cards on Libby, and the waits are like 16 weeks, and sometimes I just don't feel like waiting. So I ended up going through my like TBR or want to read folder on Goodreads, and I found a book that I had forgotten about called Dead Silence, and they had the audiobook up, so I've been listening to that, and I feel like it's kind of like a thriller horror type of book. It follows this like space crew that gets a distress signal, and when they show up, it's this like presumed, not abandoned ship, but something happened to the ship 20 years before. Everybody on there is probably dead, and they have to go onto the ship to claim something to prove that they actually found the ship. And so it's kind of like a Titanic situation, like everybody died and they have no clue what happened. I mean, obviously they know what happened in the Titanic, but it's like a lost ship type of situation. And I have about 6 hours and 45 minutes left of that, listening at 1.5 times speed. So it's pretty good. I like it. So yeah, my plans today, I'm gonna go clean up the kitchen from dinner last night, read a little bit, and then in between things I'm gonna come in here and edit, because Adam and I played It Takes Two the other day and I recorded it, and I want to post it on my gaming channel, but I'm going through and putting subtitles for everything that Adam and I say, because sometimes like the other volume is too loud and you can't really hear what we're saying, so it's taking me a really long time to edit it, but I think it's a really cute game, and so I can't wait to get that up. I also have to edit this vlog, so lots of things to do, but plenty of time to do them in. Nothing to do today, no rush or anything, so yeah. Guys, so it's currently 7:30 p.m. I have finished my reading for the day, surprisingly. It's not that I didn't have the time to do it, it drug on for so long. It hasn't taken me this long to finish it, but it definitely took me longer than I intended to. As I've said, I'm not really in a fantasy mood, so it's kind of hard to get into the story while there's not a whole lot going on. And it's split perspective, so I really only like certain perspectives of the story. Specifically Siri's perspective, because of kind of whatever she has going on right now, and then the other ones it's kind of hit or miss depending on what's going on. But as of right now, I would definitely give this a 3 or 4 star. I don't know yet. It's not bad. I just am having a hard time getting through it. It feels very like slow paced, and I've not read any Brandon Sanderson, so this just might be how his books are. They're all very long for the most part, so I don't know. I am enjoying it. There's a lot of funny parts. There's characters that I really enjoy and some bickering back and forth and stuff. So I will hopefully be finishing this by next Sunday, because that's when our meetup is. I'm on page 326 of like 588, so I'm a little over halfway. I'm getting there, and I really think things are going to start going down now, but they just didn't in the last 90 pages that I read, so it's just taking its time, but that's fine. I listened to some more of Dead Silence today while I did chores. I am now on chapter 12, and I have 5.5 hours left at the speed that I am reading. Excuse my dog, she's playing. I'm still really enjoying that. It's starting to kind of get into the really like creepy part, I guess, of the story. I've not really read horror before, so it's different because of like they have to add in extra details that make it a little spooky. And I've been reading it or listening to it while I do chores, so I'm not like 100% in that mindset. I'm not like in a dark environment where it could really freak me out, but like the way that it talks about how these people died and just how like eerie it is really interesting to me, and I am enjoying it. And that's really all the reading I've done today. I may or may not read some more tonight, but otherwise that's really all of the updates that I have for y'all. So I finished 2 books in this vlog, and I'm pretty satisfied with that, considering how slow my reading's been this month. So I'll take it. Otherwise, I hope this vlog wasn't too long. I watch other reading vlogs and people do a lot of talking in them about the books and stuff, so I've tried to do more of that, but then my vlogs end up being an hour long, and I feel like nobody wants to listen to me talk for a straight hour. So we'll get more into the groove of everything, of kind of making it a mixed lifestyle and reading vlog type of situation. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you coming back. If you have any recommendations on books or videos that you want to see in the future, let me know. Otherwise, leave me a star in the comments, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.